to your training. This is a training that's really the heart of what I do as a coach, an artist, and a mentor. Um, I am going to talk about what to do if you are starting to feel a little bit burned out, if you are starting to feel stressed out, if you are starting to feel like your abundance has been blocked. And I know that this really resonates with coaches and creatives and visionaries and entrepreneurs because we're always in the flow of giving and receiving. And that's a big part of what we do as online entrepreneurs and also as, energetic beings. So whether you're a healer, this is a post I did in the group just a few days ago, but I asked you to weigh in and I asked you to share. Are you an energy healer? Are you a creative? Are you a female leader? Are you a visionary? How do you really identify yourself in your soul aligned business? And so that was the question that I shared in the group. So feel free to go and weigh in on that a little bit more. But I ask a question when you join this group, and I share that as my business really started to expand and kind of blow up about somewhere between 3 to 5 years ago, I went through a period where I felt really really burned out because I was absorbing so much information, growing at such a fast rate. And what I really want to share with you today is the trifecta, the three things that I keep coming back to when I really just want to tap into the most abundant version of myself, the most healed version of myself. And so I could also call this the healing power of art, meditation, and movement. But I want to go one by one and kind of reveal to you a little bit more. So there's a card that has been coming through, and I want to show it to you. It's from this beautiful Starseed Oracle deck. And the card is, I'm just also like pulling up my notes. The card is called Deep Cellular Healing. And so I always ask my guides if I'm onto something or if I'm moving in the right direction. And I've pulled this card twice. And the last time I pulled it, I was out. This is from Rebecca Campbell's deck, if anybody's looking for it online. But the last time that I pulled this card, I was out in nature with my son. And it really felt like we were experiencing this deep cellular reset or this deep cellular healing. Okay. And I got the card again when I did a card pull today. And so, and haven't pulled any other cards from this deck lately. And so it's sort of just affirming that this is what I'm here to really help you with. And the fact is that when you are healed from burnout and you're in flow with your most soul aligned self, you are going to attract the most abundant opportunities in your life and in your business because you're really just allowing yourself to flow with all the different synchronicities in life. And so, if you've ever felt creatively blocked, if you've ever felt like financially blocked, if you've ever felt like you're just waiting on that opportunity to drop in, or you've felt overwhelmed or disconnected from yourself, one of the keys that I want to really share with you to coming back to more clarity, which I think when we feel clarity, we feel so much alignment. We're able to take forward action. We don't say stay stuck. This is one of the reasons that I work with other coaches. One of the reasons that I join memberships. One of the reasons that I do these three practices I'm going to share with you today. It's to come back to that inspiration that's already within you. Okay. And so if you're here live with me today, I've just got multiple screens up. Drop me a hashtag live. Let me know where you're joining from. Say hello if you can. If you're not driving, feel free to leave a comment. And the same goes for the YouTubers. Once this is up on YouTube, feel free to comment, share where you're joining from, and share what resonates today with you. So here's the trifecta that I want to share. The three things that And it looks like how funny. It looked like I was frozen there for a second. The three things that I always come back to, and this is what we do at my retreats. I'm now hosting like 4 different retreats a year. I'm hosting 2 international and 2 local retreats. The retreat that I'm promoting right now that's almost sold out is the Awaken Retreat, which is happening on this mesmerizing, magical island off the coast of Barcelona in the south of Spain, which is called Mallorca. It's absolutely dreamy. It has these very powerful healing energies because it's on certain ley lines. And I just find it completely inspiring and magical to be there. The island is surrounded with these crystal turquoise waters. And this is what we do on retreat. We start the day off with a meditation. Now, at home, my practice is also to start my morning with a morning meditation. Inside my book, which I'll link below, it's called 90 Day Journal Manifest Your Dream Life in 90 Days. I introduce different kinds of meditations in the journal. I'll share a couple with you today, but I start the day with a seated meditation. I like to burn incense. I have this bamboo incense that I use that is like, doesn't create a lot of smoke. So I really enjoy it. And the scent is like very soft smell. I have sandalwood, rose, jasmine. I have a bunch of different ones, whether I want to feel like more uplifted through like florals or more grounded through like cedar wood or sandalwood, something like that. The next thing that I'm going to be sharing about is how that little short moment of meditation really brings you back to yourself. So I'm going to go through the 3 practices today and go a little deeper into each practice. But the first thing that I want to share is why being stressed out or overwhelmed really blocks your inspiration and your intuition and also your creativity, which we, as a creative mentor, I want to show you how to apply creativity to like every aspect of your business so that you have the most abundant, the most flourishing business, and also a thriving life. So, one way that stress really affects the brain and the body is you find yourself in fight or flight mode, which means that your nervous system is kind of like overly vigilant, overly activated. If anybody's ever felt like anxious about something, jittery, found themselves in overthinking, um, fight or flight mode can either put you into overthinking or it can put you into that freeze mode, which is where you feel stuck and you have creative block. So, personally, for me, I come back to my meditation and the different journaling exercises that I do every single morning to realign myself with my intentions and also to overcome any creative blocks, which are also financial blocks, because when we're blocked creatively, we're blocked financially for sure, because the opportunities are not going to flow, or you might be taking opportunities, saying yes to things that are not really going to get you to where you want to go. Okay. So that's just a little bit of an example of how these morning practices, when I have been stuck, and also, I reach out to my coach or I reach out to other entrepreneurs, when I'm feeling stuck. Mostly I go into like, speaking with a coach or something like that if I'm not able to move past the block on my own. Okay. This is also what I teach and in the retreats. I teach you how to realign daily through these different meditative practices. When we create space for them, and now I don't really find myself too stuck or too blocked too often, and I can shift out of it really quickly, so I don't lose like a week's worth of work just staying in this kind of low productivity blocked mode, that freeze mode where you're unable to make a decision, you're unable to move forward. So the transformation can happen a lot more quickly and you can shift back into alignment. So that's the first thing I wanted to share with you. Um, the second thing that I want to talk about and really go into is that the meditation and the stillness creates clarity. Now, without fail, on my retreats and also with some of my Zoom coaching clients, they might tell me that, meditation, like if just like raise your hand or give me a heart or give me a like, if like meditation is like really hard for you, if it's difficult for you to meditate. And I can totally relate to that because I started my meditation practice like 22 years ago when I walked through the doors of the Center for Yoga, which it was the first yoga studio ever in Los Angeles, and it was created here in the 1970s. And I found meditation actually through my yoga practice. And at first, it was really, really hard for me to meditate. But what happened is over time, it started to become easier and easier to tap into it and to meditate for longer. So, a couple of ways to get started meditating if you've not done it before, or if you've just done it before and you've not really enjoyed it, I would invite you to close your eyes for just a minute and to take a deep breath in through your nose. So, inhaling through your nose to the count of 4, and then hold for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then exhaling for 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can start to feel your body relax, and you can start to feel the energy start to shift just from those breaths. So let's just do that again because that like felt so good. So inhaling through your nose, hold for 4, and then exhaling for 4. So, a little bit of a guided breath work meditation can really help you to step back into your authentic vibration, clarity, and alignment. And you start to feel your body relax. So, there's many other kinds of meditations that I could share with you. Other favorites are guided meditations, which I think are really great for when you're starting out, so that your mind can keep coming back to the words of the meditation. Whoever's leading the meditation. Maybe later in the week, I have a couple of recorded meditations that I could share with you. On YouTube, you'll find some of them as well. And so that's the foundation of my retreats and also my coaching practice. And then a second technique I wanted to share with you is creating art. And I find that creating art is one of the top ways to really get back into your authenticity. You don't have to be a painter. Creating art could be sculpting something. It could mean writing something, expressing yourself. I came across a beautiful Facebook group that was all about singing and healing through singing. So, using your vocal cords, using your voice. So, creating a piece of art that's meaningful to you. When you start to go into creative expression, you release emotions. You step out of the logical mind and you start to really access those deeper layers of intuition. So many of you know that I'm a painter. I've been painting for the last 20 years. My painting practice has really moved back to abstraction. And this is what I painted today in my studio. So I just did a little painting. I didn't have a ton of time. And I'm not sure if it's completely finished yet. I might still make a couple of tweaks to it, but painting can be a wonderful way. And then I'll just show you this little scrap painting that I did as well to really help release and free up creativity. I just used the colors that were on my palette, and I've been doing these little painting grids because I'm going to use them in a larger artwork. This is all acrylic and watercolor on this special handmade watercolor paper that I really love. And so just to show you, you don't have to be creating representational art to really tune into your inner artist. We all have one. In art making, if you think back to being a child, was really part of everybody's life, I'm sure, at some point. So I'd love to hear from you in the comments. what's your favorite mode of creative expression? So please share that with me. So that creates clarity because you start opening up to your intuition. So and it can be as simple as, creating a painting by making marks without thinking. So this is one way that your intuition can really start to speak to you and you can start to really listen to it. So tuning in to your own intuitive self. And that's another thing that I love to go deeper into inside of my retreats and my group programs. Most recently, I did a masterclass with Pamela, who's another group member, and it was called The Catalyst. And we really went into your vision map for the year. And we really started talking about cultivating your soul vision. Now, the way that you're going to cultivate that is by really honing in and tuning into your intuition and your intuitive guidance. Okay. So the third thing I want to talk about, and we have amazing movement practitioners in wellness, holistic wellness professionals inside of this group. Eventually, I did do my 500-hour yoga teacher training after practicing yoga for 22 years. So I don't teach it. It's just a big part of my life. And it's a big part of what I bring to the table as a coach. And the reason that I want to talk about movement is because creativity flows when the energy moves through the body. And so if we're just stuck and we're sitting at our desks all day, or we're sitting, in a cubicle, hopefully not, but if we're stuck in a cubicle, which is, it's part of like reality, right? That some jobs require that. We need to move and we need to let the movement and the energy really flow through our body. So when you move, one of my favorite movement practices is just like going on a walk, but you shift your state, your emotions shift, your perspective really opens up, whether it's yoga, whether it's Pilates. That's one of my favorite. I do reformer Pilates right now because I'm working with my back currently, or just taking like a long, beautiful walk out in nature reconnects you to yourself. So I said this is the trifecta that I wanted to go over today. So I think that, when we look at people that are in therapy or different things like that, I think we really need to start to look at these things that are these ancient practices of meditation, of art making, and of movement to really cure ourselves of stress and anxiety. Now, I'm just mentioning this as like a holistic approach. Doesn't mean that, these other approaches shouldn't be used. I'm just suggesting that, when you come back to these ancient practices that are readily available, we can learn to really quickly shift the energy and start to feel better and feel like more in alignment with what we're creating, especially if you're putting out a lot of different offers out there. If you're, if you're a healer and you're working with a lot of different people through your holistic, wellness practices, through healing arts practices. So these can be complementary modalities. So when you move, your emotions shift, your perspective shifts, and you just start to wake up again to your deepest self and your inner self. So I invite you after this video to stand up, to stretch, to move. And I'm going to be bringing other experts into the group soon, probably in about 20 days. And they're going to start to share with you some of these incredible ways. So all of my retreats, my Awaken Retreat in Mallorca, which is happening in September, I think we only have 3 spots left, maybe 2, because somebody is, I believe, hopping in today. So what I wanted to say is I bring all of these into my retreats, my programs, and I just want to hear like what's really resonating with you. Which one would you like to do more of, or which ones are you already doing? But it helps to really integrate, the mind, body, and spirit. And not something that I've been talking a lot about with my 10-year-old, because I just feel like it's such an important thing to share with our kids as well. I really want him to develop his own awareness about how he is feeling in his body, in his mind, and then also in his spirit, which really can, tie into the heart space, actually. So, how would your life shift? How would your business shift if meditation, art, and movement became part of a daily practice? I'm curious to hear if it's already a daily practice for most of you. And I just like to invite you to tap into one of these practices today. I'd love to hear which one speaks to you the most. And of course, if this resonated with you and you're craving a deeper, more mystical, more magical experience, I'd love to invite you to the Awaken Retreat in Mallorca, where we're going to immerse in all kinds of holistic wellness practices, manifestation sessions, vision mapping, and also mini workshops to really open up your creativity, and all with these incredible soul aligned female leaders, some of whom are in this group. If you've seen my profile page, you've seen I'm starting to announce the presenters, which is incredibly exciting. And we're going to be in the most beautiful setting, just creating and getting more clarity for what we would like to allow to really come in. So, thank you so much for joining me live today. I'm going to be sharing more and more of these soul aligned trainings. If you're interested in working with me, I'm going to drop a link below so that you can book in a one-on-one session if you're really feeling blocked around something, if you're craving more clarity, more alignment in your business, and also rippling out into your life, then I would love to invite you to reach out. And thanks so much for watching.